Orlando is as muddy as it was blood-drenched. That it was both a terror attack and a hate crime, just part of the confusion for Americans today. What drove Omar Mateen, a preoccupation for the FBI as well. Because as we know, in that 911 call, it wasn't just ISIS he was pledging allegiance to.
Allahu Akbar, Takbir.
He named a suicide bomber from Florida as well as the Boston bombers.
The bombers at the Boston Marathon and the suicide bomber from Florida were not inspired by ISIL, which adds a little bit to the confusion about his motives.
Yes and no. Different Islamic extremist groups may claim different philosophies, but many of them share a lust to kill in the West and target people in places where they think they're safe. Grotesquely, several of those groups celebrated today, but it is ISIS that thinks it has the most to gain from this horror and is already using the Orlando imagery to recruit and distract.
ISIS is having a lot of defeats in Iraq and in Syria. They went from being a caliphate, asking everybody to go there and join them, to being an organization that's broadcasting their hatred and asking people to conduct terrorist attacks under its name.
Some called this a lone wolf attack, but in truth, it's rare attackers genuinely act without any outside influence. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, is one of the few real lone wolf attackers. Ali Soufan calls those like Omar Mateen known wolves, on the radar of law enforcement agencies who just don't know what to do with them. When the FBI examine Mateen's electronics, a bigger picture will emerge. Already they suggest he may have researched Disney World as a target. And tonight, U.S. media report Mateen was an online student of an Orlando ex-con known as Abu Tauba.
Today we're going to do Surah Al-Baqarah.
Reportedly once the bodyguard for the blind sheikh behind the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. His teachings are full of hate.
We'd rather live closer to the water than further away, along with devil worshippers and homosexuals and all types of, deviant peoples.
Robertson denies Mateen was his student, but the microscope will be on everyone Mateen ever knew. Adrienne Arsenault, CBC News, Toronto.